Have you ever been so excited for a trip only to think, why didn't anyone warn me? The photos look perfect, but reality can be underwhelming. That's what we're here for. Informed Tourist shows you the good and the bad, so you can skip the tourist traps and find the real gems. We'll help you avoid the crowds and disappointment, and make your 2026 travels truly unforgettable. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive in. Ah, Venice. Just saying the name conjures up images, right? You can almost hear the gentle lapping of water against ancient stone, the distant romantic melody of a gondolier's song floating on the breeze. It's a city that seems dreamed into existence, a floating masterpiece of canals, and bridges, palaces, and piazzas. It's the kind of place you see in movies and think, does a place like that really exist? It's pure magic, a city built on water, defying logic and gravity for centuries. It promises romance, history, and a plate of pasta that will change your life. Who wouldn't want to go there? I've been lucky enough to visit, to get lost in its labyrinth of alleyways, to discover a tiny baccaro for sacchetti and a glass of wine. And when you find those moments, oh my goodness, it's everything you ever wanted. It's like finding the perfect little family-run restaurant that nobody knows about yet. The food is incredible, the people are warm, and for a second, you feel like you're part of the family. You feel the soul of the city. That's the Venice everyone is searching for, the one that captures your heart and never lets go. But here's the thing about finding that perfect little restaurant. What happens when everybody else finds it too? Suddenly there's a line out the door, the prices go up, and the quality, it starts to slip. The magic gets a little diluted. That, my friends, is the reality of Venice in the 21st century. The dream is still there, but it's buried under layers of something else. It's a city gasping for air, struggling under the weight of its own incredible beauty and fame. The very thing that makes it so special is also what's threatening to suffocate it. And that's the conversation we need to have. It's not about hating Venice. It's about loving it enough to be honest. The city is facing an existential crisis, a battle between preservation and profit. For the traveler in 2026, navigating this means understanding that the postcard image is only half the story. The other half involves crowds so thick you can barely move, and a sense that the city has become a theme park version of itself. It's a tough pill to swallow, I know, but we have to talk about it. Let's talk about the crowds. I mean, really talk about them. Imagine trying to savor a delicate, perfectly fried piece of calamari while being jostled by 1,000 people all trying to take the exact same selfie from the Rialto Bridge. It's impossible. The intimacy, the quiet moments of reflection that Venice should offer, are often shattered by the sheer volume of people. The narrow streets, once charmingly mysterious, become human traffic jams. You're not strolling, you're shuffling. It's less romantic exploration and more commuter rush hour, but with more selfie sticks. And the city knows this is a problem. Their solution? A tourist tax. An entry fee just to step foot in the city on peak days. Now, I understand the impulse. They're trying to manage the flow, to get some resources to maintain the city's fragile infrastructure. But think about what that does to the experience. It immediately transactionalizes your visit. It's like paying a cover charge to get into your friend's house for dinner. It just feels off. It sends a message, whether intended or not, that you are not a guest, but a customer. And that changes the whole dynamic of your travel. This shift from guest to customer has a profound effect on the city's soul. When a city's main industry becomes processing millions of tourists, the authentic local life begins to fade. The little bakery that's been there for 100 years can't compete with the shop selling cheap carnival masks. The neighborhood grocery store is replaced by a souvenir stand. The number of actual Venetians living in the city has plummeted because it's become unaffordable and unlivable. You're walking through a stunningly beautiful movie set, but the actors have all gone home. So what you're left with is an experience that can feel hollow. You're paying more for less. You pay an entry fee, you pay inflated prices for a coffee in St. Mark's Square. And you stand in endless lines, all for what? A glimpse of a city that feels more like an exhibit than a living, breathing place. It's like going to a world-famous restaurant and being served a microwaved meal. It might look the part, but it lacks the heart, the flavor, the authenticity that makes a travel experience truly nourishing. And for that reason, you might want to think twice in 2026. Barcelona. Oh, what a city. It's vibrant, it's alive, it's a feast for the senses. You've got the whimsical, mind-bending architecture of Gaudí, curving and soaring toward the sky like something out of a dream. You've got the energy of Las Ramblas, the smell of the sea air down at the beach, and the promise of tapas. Oh, the tapas. Patatas bravas, gambas al ajillo, pan con tomate. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It's a city that pulses with a creative, youthful energy, a place where art and life and food all crash together in the most beautiful way. I remember walking through the Gothic Quarter, the labyrinth of ancient, shadowy streets opening up into sun-drenched plazas. You can just feel the history under your feet. And then you pop out and see the Sagrada Familia, a building that looks like it's still growing, like it's an organic thing. It's a city of incredible contrasts, of old and new, of quiet corners and explosive energy. It's a place that invites you to get lost, to wander, to discover, and most importantly, to eat. It's a foodie paradise wrapped in an architectural wonderland. But there's a tension in Barcelona, a friction you can feel just beneath the surface. While you're marveling at the beauty, you might catch a glimpse of a sign hanging from a balcony. It might say tourists go home, and it's not just one or two. This sentiment has become more and more visible over the years. The very people whose city you've come to admire are starting to feel like they're being pushed out. Their home has become a playground for the world, and they're not always happy about it. It's a complicated, uncomfortable feeling. Imagine you've invited people over for a party, but the party never ends. The guests just keep coming, they're loud, they're messy, and they're making it impossible for you to just live your life. That's how many locals in Barcelona feel. The city has become a victim of its own success. The explosion in tourism has driven up rents, pushed out local businesses, and turned residential neighborhoods into noisy, transient zones. So when you arrive, full of excitement, you may be met with a vibe that feels less like a warm welcome and more like a weary sigh. This anti-tourist sentiment isn't just a feeling, it manifests in real ways that can impact your trip. It can be the subtle coldness from a shopkeeper or the overt graffiti I mentioned, but it also contributes to a less safe environment. When there's a disconnect and a resentment between the local population and the massive influx of visitors, it can create an atmosphere where tourists are seen as easy targets. Petty crime, particularly pickpocketing in crowded areas like Las Ramblas and the Metro, has become a significant and widely reported problem. You're trying to soak in the atmosphere, to enjoy the street performers and the bustling crowds, but part of your brain has to be on high alert. You're constantly checking your pockets, clutching your bag, scanning the people around you. That's not a relaxing vacation. It's stressful. It takes you out of the moment. Food, for me, is about relaxing. About savoring the moment with the people you're with. But you can't fully savor your jamon iberico if you're worried someone's about to lift your wallet. It adds a layer of anxiety to what should be a joyful experience. Beyond the crime, there's the issue of authenticity we've talked about. The most famous street, Las Ramblas, is a perfect example. It's often the first place tourists go, but most locals avoid it like the plague. It's lined with overpriced, low-quality restaurants serving generic Spanish food and tacky souvenir shops. It's a tourist corridor, a conveyor belt designed to extract money from visitors, offering very little of the city's true character in return. The real Barcelona, the one with the amazing food and genuine culture, is found on the side streets, away from the main drag. So you're faced with a choice. You can stick to the famous, crowded, and potentially unsafe tourist zones and leave feeling like you've seen a caricature of Barcelona. Or, you can do the hard work of trying to find the real city, which is getting harder to do. When you combine the feeling of being unwelcome with the constant need to be on guard and the challenge of sifting through the tourist traps, the whole proposition becomes exhausting. A vacation shouldn't be hard work. It should be a joy, a delight, a feast. And in 2026, that feast might be easier to find elsewhere. Ah, Paris, the city of light, love, and endless dreams. You picture yourself strolling by the Seine, sipping espresso at a cafe, surrounded by art, history, and incredible food. But then reality hits, crowds everywhere, packed cafes, and selfie sticks at every turn. The Parisian dream is still there, just a little harder to find, and you'll be sharing it with millions of others. It's beautiful, but very, very crowded. Paris is magical, but let's be real, scams and crowds are everywhere. From fake gold rings to petition tricks, you have to stay alert. The crowds, endless lines for the Eiffel Tower and Mona Lisa can drain the joy out of your trip. Many leave feeling let down, missing the real Paris. The city's magic is still there, but you have to look past the chaos to find it. San Francisco, the city by the bay. The Golden Gate Bridge pops out of the fog, cable cars climb steep hills, and every neighborhood has its own flavor. The food is world-class, the views are spectacular, and the city's personality is unforgettable. But lately, the postcard image doesn't always match reality. The glow of the Golden Gate is still there, but shadows have grown on the streets below. San Francisco's homelessness crisis is impossible to ignore. Entire blocks are lined with tents, and the struggle is visible everywhere. It's a deeply human problem with no easy answers. Tourists face anxiety about safety and theft, with smash and grabs a daily reality. The city's beauty remains, but navigating its challenges can leave you feeling drained and heartbroken. We all hope San Francisco finds its way back to being the welcoming place it can be. Los Angeles. LA, the city of angels. It's the dream factory, the place where stars are born. From the moment you're a kid, you see it on screen. The glamour, the sunshine, the palm trees lining the boulevards. You see the Hollywood sign up on the hill, looking down like a benevolent god of fame and fortune. You picture yourself cruising down Rodeo Drive in a convertible, sunglasses on, wind in your hair, maybe spotting a celebrity getting their morning coffee. It's a city built on mythology, a place that sells a fantasy of endless summer and limitless possibility. And who doesn't want a piece of that? It's the entertainment capital of the world. You can go to Universal Studios and see how they make the movies. You can put your hands in the handprints of legends at the Chinese Theater. You can walk down the Hollywood Walk of Fame and look for your favorite star's name on the sidewalk. It's all there, the physical evidence of the stories that have shaped our culture. You feel like you're at the center of the universe, or at least the center of the entertainment universe. There's a buzz in the air, a feeling that anything could happen, that you're just 1 degree of separation from somebody famous. And let's be honest, the setting is a knockout. You've got mountains on one side and the ocean on the other. You can go for a hike in Runyon Canyon in the morning and be at the beach in Santa Monica by the afternoon, watching the sunset over the Pacific. The weather is, well, pretty much perfect like all the time. It's a city that encourages an outdoor lifestyle. And the food, oh, the food in LA is a whole other universe. From the fanciest restaurants in Beverly Hills to the most incredible taco trucks in East LA, it is one of the most exciting food cities on the planet. I could do a whole season just on the tacos. Seriously. So, you arrive with this highlight reel playing in your head. Movie stars, beaches, sunshine, tacos. It's a recipe for the perfect vacation, right? You've packed your best outfits. You've practiced your "I'm cool, I'm not starstruck" face in the mirror. You're ready for your close-up. The fantasy is so powerful, so deeply ingrained in all of us, that you can almost taste it. But the reality of L. The biggest monster in Los Angeles isn't in the movies, it's traffic. You'll spend hours crawling across the city, stuck in endless gridlock. Everything is 20 minutes away, but it's never just 20 minutes. Your whole trip is dictated by what's geographically possible, not what you want to do. Even the famous sights can feel underwhelming and crowded. The LA tourists see is a mix of traffic, distance, and exhaustion. You might leave LA needing a vacation from your vacation. Rome. Just saying the name stirs something inside you. The city of Caesars, gladiators, and Michelangelo, where every cobblestone tells a story. But the dream of Rome is getting crowded. You arrive, and millions have the same idea. Instead of discovery, you're swept along in a sea of selfie sticks. You fight for every glimpse, craning your neck at the Trevi Fountain, waiting in endless lines. Rome's beauty is still there, if you can find it through the crowds. The Roman summer heat is relentless. More than just warm, it's a physical presence that saps your energy and turns sightseeing into a challenge. Crowds pack the forum, and the sun beats down from every angle. Vendors spot your exhaustion and swoop in. Water, hats, selfie sticks, offering relief for a price. The combination of heat, crowds, and constant hustle can leave you feeling more drained than delighted by Rome's wonders. And that, my friends, is a real shame for a city this magnificent.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of...
Hello friends, Cancun. Paradise on a postcard, right? Turquoise water, white sand, pure bliss. But the secret got out. Now those quiet beaches are packed, the charm replaced by crowds and resorts. The brochures still promise heaven, but reality, it's more theme park than paradise. The postcard lies, my friends. But maybe, just maybe, there's still a hidden corner left to find. In Cancun, everything has a tourist price. From the moment you land, you're seen as a walking wallet. Resorts keep you in a gilded cage, serving up generic food and rehearsed experiences. The real flavors and culture? Locked outside the gates. Why start your trip in a trap, when places like Oaxaca or Isla Holbox offer genuine welcomes, incredible food, and fair prices? Food for thought, my friends. Dubai! Wow! Just wow, it's like a sci-fi city built in the desert. Skyscrapers twisting, glittering, the Burj Khalifa soaring above all. Everything here is bigger, shinier, more ambitious. You feel like a VIP in a frictionless, dazzling playground. But after a while you notice what's missing: the texture, the history, the beautiful messiness of old cities. Dubai is a stunning mirage, perfect, but a little bit unreal. Let's talk about the heat. Not just a warm day, this is a heat that keeps you indoors, moving from one air-conditioned box to another. You see Dubai through car windows, not on its streets. The city's outdoor spaces are beautiful, but empty. Life happens inside, and the culture you find often feels curated, not lived. Dubai dazzles the eyes, but for me, it rarely touches the heart. We've traveled from Venice to Dubai, seen the crowds, the scams, and the hype. So, what's the secret? The best places aren't the ones you see in ads or on every influencer's feed. Look for the whispers, not the shouts. Those hidden gems locals love. That's where you'll find real adventure. Have you found a spot like that? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.